Good morning. Appreciate y'all for tuning in and rocking with us for another edition of the Morning Breeze, man. Always rocking with you guys, as always, man. Outside of me, I got my guy, Mr. Media himself, Jordan JC, in the building.
That's right. Stretch it out.
It's like we haven't done one of these in a little bit.
Oh, that's right.
Somebody's been on a vacay on one of the most important weeks of the football season.
I'm back.
You bastard. Breeze Nation, what's good? We got a lot to get into on today's episode. Ryan Poles had some interesting comments about Darnell Wright that could open up a ton of options for you, especially if you're talking about that pesky BPA. Also, got to talk about our worst and dream scenarios at 10. What's the worst case scenario at 10 for the Chicago Bears? What is the best case scenario at 10 for the Chicago Bears? All that and more in today's episode of The Morning Breeze. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page, leave a 5-star review. Y'all know what to do. And, hey, Jordan JC.
What's going on?
The date's 4/23/2025.
It is.
It's 7:02 in the morning.
That's right.
We're a little over 20 hours away from the draft.
Oh.
And it's going to be fun.
Ah, there he is.
It's going to be fun. Actually,
there he is.
It's going to be real fun.
Oh, no, he is.
Yeah. Yeah. A lot of fun happening here. Watch yourself. You know what's terrifying? The fact that he axed his way through the door for that before. That's what really scares you. You don't see, that's the aftermath of all of the mess. You don't really see the fact that this guy
dramatic
axed his way
effect
through the door.
That's
He's
right.
a monster. He's an absolute monster.
Like
Breeze Nation, what
side.
is good? It's your boy Pat the Designer back at it again. As always, with my co-host, Mr. Media himself, Jordan JC. Hey, man.
Whoa.
The draft is here. I'm excited. And I tell you what, I need y'all to go ahead and do me a favor.
Come on. Push the button. Come on. Push the button. Come on, push the button.
Yeah, come on, push the button.
You heard what she said.
Y'all heard what Sue Young said. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page, man. Leave a 5-star review. Y'all know what to do. How you feeling this morning, my guy?
Oh, feeling good, man. Tuesday, 24 hours away. Actually, Wednesday. What am I talking about?
It is Wednesday, yes.
The
yes,
days
it is
mixed
Wednesday.
up. You know, I had that vacation time.
Oh, yeah. I bet your days are mixed up. We're actually 1 day, 11 hours, 55 minutes, and 54 seconds.
Oh, look at you. Ooh.
Tankathon has it at the top. I don't think that's that
Math.
impressive.
No, okay, all right. Impressive. Can't wait. Cannot wait.
But no, man, listen, I think, where we're at, there is an excitement in the air. There is a feeling of a finality to this whole process here where you may actually get your guy at 10. That is kind of the exclamation point on an offseason that has been a phenomenal offseason. And it'll be very exciting to see. And the one thing I do want to talk about here to start things off is the comments that Ryan Poles made about Darnell Wright.
Yeah.
Because he was asked at the podium yesterday, do you feel like if somebody is there, you know, that Darnell Wright is versatile enough to move around? And what Ryan Poles said was basically that, listen, we loved his versatility coming out of college. I think that there is a conversation, if there's a right tackle there, on the possibility of moving him to left tackle. We'll see how everything goes. He clearly has the ability to play left and right. We saw that in college. That was part of the value in taking Darnell. So if he can play left, he can play left. And obviously, I think we're all excited about his stuff to go right. Now, Jordan JC, the second that I heard that there was one name that screamed out to me. And no, this is not a Shannon Sharp situation. Calm down now. But somebody who I've talked about consistently on this show is who I believe is the best tackle in this draft. Overall tackle. Problem is that he's on the right side of the football. And that is one, how's your Membo? Armand Membo. There are some elite tackle options in this draft that I think could be available to the Chicago Bears. The problem is they play on the same side as Darnell Wright on the right side of the football. If that option was available, would you want to see Darnell Wright moved to the left side? Or do you feel like, you know what, we've gotten him comfortable on that right side. I don't want to see him moved. Let's not start moving guys around.
I feel like that's a possibility. However, personally, would I want to see him move? I feel like maybe you're taking a risk. I understand that, he had some snaps on the left side as well, but I feel like his most comfortable position would be where he's at right tackle. And I think we've learned throughout the years what that can do is when you're mixing and matching and sliding people all over the place when they're out of their natural position. Despite some of the experience he has at left, I feel like you want to put him in the best position to succeed, and for that means keeping him at right tackle. We saw that there were little bumps and bruises for him in his second year where he had a few ebbs and flows. Now, could that have been because he didn't have a really good tandem or a good partner in the dance when it came to the right guard, whether it was Nate Davis, whether it was Matt Pryor, whether it was whoever else that they put there, it was kind of inconsistent. And so did that kind of affect his play? Maybe, yes. However, you saw him bounce back a little bit by the end of the season. And we no doubt can talk about the talent level of a Darnell Wright. He definitely seems like he's getting more and more comfortable with the NFL level, the speed, and what's going on at the right tackle. I don't think I would want to start him back over at left if you're still talking about getting an Armand Membu. Now, if it happens, it happens. I'm not going to sit here. It's kind of like your running back situation. If it happens, it happens. Like for me, I'm like, I don't like it. I don't love it, but if it happens, it's like, okay, well, I understand their thinking is that he's versatile enough where we can move him here and we're going to get the best right tackle prospect. And now look at our entire line. You got three really good guys in the middle that are proven in the NFL. And then, you got Darnell Wright who is doing his thing. And then you got the best tackle prospect period in the draft in Membu. And so I can see how there's a world where that really makes sense and that setup can really be successful. And you put your trust in, like I said, a Dan Rashawn, the coaching staff, which is really what it comes down to if you're going to switch Darnell Wright. So I'm not scared of something like that. However, I wouldn't mess with what's already working right now.
Now, there does seem to be this belief of, I don't know why, from Bears fans that Darnell Wright didn't play left tackle at all. He did. I keep seeing this comment whenever we do one of these videos about a possible somebody being out of position. Darnell Wright was never a left tackle. He was a left tackle for 13 games in his junior season. He was more comfortable on the right side of the football, but he was a left tackle in his junior season in college. To me, I think the conversation about the possibility of moving right is one that you have to explore if you feel like that blue chip player is there. I don't know if we still live in a world where your highest paid tackle does have to be your left tackle, right? I don't know if we're going to go see Detroit moving Penei Sewell around, but I think what I really look at here is, are we going with the best player available? And if you have to move somebody, one, Darnell Wright has played left tackle before. Two, we have seen these moves work out for the better. It just the player wasn't healthy enough for it to feel good about. We've seen these moves work out for the better. It's just the 2 times we've done it, we've seen guys be unhealthy in that position. Kyle Long ended up going from a guard to a center, and he was a Pro Bowl center, and he wasn't one of the alternate Pro Bowl centers. Also, they were still playing real football at the Pro Bowl, but he wasn't one of the alternate Pro Bowl centers, right? Like he was one of the guys that it was, okay, he's not like 17th on the list. I think he was 2 the year he went because the guy who was 1 was going to the Super Bowl. That's a very different conversation than Mitch Trubisky. The Tevin Jenkins conversation. We have said a multitude of times, Tevin Jenkins is one of the best left guards in football when he's healthy.
Right.
Problem is Tevin Jenkins just isn't healthy. You know what Tevin Jenkins was drafted to be? A left tackle. He also was an elite right guard. I think he's a better right guard than he is a left guard. So to me, like when you talk about the conversation around having guys moved around, when you talk about the conversation around guys being put into different positions, right? Even Coleman Shelton. Coleman Shelton was a guard that became a center. Maybe that's what I'm thinking of. Was Coleman Shelton the guard that became a center that went to the Pro Bowl, or was Kyle Long?
Oh, Coleman Shelton did not go. Coleman went to the Pro Bowl?
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah. But either way, right? Like the conversation is people can move, especially if there's a better player there that makes the line stable. Now, the question that you also have to bring into this, and I do think it's a valid conversation, is, are you hurting yourself at multiple positions?
Are you thinking of Cody White here?
Huh?
You thinking of Cody White here? I see the chat because I do remember him going from guard to center. You said Cody.
I said Coleman Shelton.
Coleman Shelton. Yeah.
That's terrible. Cody White here. My bad. Boy. That's terrible. Yeah. Tweet.
I was scared for a second.
Whoa.
I didn't turn into what he is now.
I got my Caucasian centers mixed up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That was terrifying. But no, like honestly, I think that is the conversation that you have to have, right? Where you look at all of these pieces that have been moved around and have been able to work there. And I'm not saying that I would rather see Darnell Wright move, because I do think Darnell Wright is a really good right tackle. I do think that he excels at that position. But if you're going to take a look at the best player available, are you going to pass on somebody who could be the best tackle in the draft because we don't want to adjust with where we have a certain player at? I think that's a tough conversation to have.
Yeah, it is tough. And that's why I can see this from different angles, because another reason why I think, okay, well, if you don't want to make that move, if you kind of want to stand pat, or another reason why I would stand pat with this is because of the same thing I mentioned about the development and the staff that we have. What are you going to do with Braxton Jones and Karan Amageji? You know, those two are still 2 left tackles, one kind of already being who he is in this league, in my opinion. But could Dan get a little bit more out of him? Do they trust that, you know, this is the time where the development process is very key into bettering Braxton Jones with his areas of weakness, and we know what those clearly are. Do we see the improvement of Karan Amageji in his second season, where he takes off and becomes the guy he said he always wanted to be, and say, ain't nobody coming near my quarterback? You know, is he actually going to be that person at left tackle? And so do you put more energy into that than saying, you know what, let's just move Darnell to the left. Now we got these 2 other guys. What are we going to do with them? So I think that's another thing too, is you don't want to waste roster space in developing those guys and you know, just kind of putting a Band-Aid on the left tackle position and then pick the right tackle position as well in the draft. That's where I see this kind of not making sense as well.
Well, I think, listen, you're Band-Aiding the left tackle position right now, no matter what. The goal would be to get the best tackle in the draft. I think that this is an interesting comment because I think it does open up the opportunity to move Darnell Wright to that left side. This may not be a conversation. Armand Membo may not be there at 10 either, right? Like,
yeah, that's another thing. Yeah,
this may not even be a realistic conversation because unless the Bears decide to trade up for somebody. But honestly, like I think the thing for me is when I look at all of these different scenarios, if I view one guy as maybe projecting better than Darnell Wright, and this all depends on how the Bears project out, right? If I view Armand Membo or I think that Kelvin Banks is going to be better than Braxton Jones or his ceiling is a floor, I don't think it matters what player is in place. And I think that's the part for me where, especially with a new coaching staff, a new regime, new defensive coordinators in the building, all new coaching staff to me means, hey, listen, everything that does make sense doesn't make sense, right? Because we can all sit here and go, Cole Kmet's a good tight end, right? We all agree Cole Kmet's a good tight end.
Cole Kmet's good tight end.
Not great, good tight end.
Yeah,
solid. You take that tight end.
I'll take that tight end.
Dang good tight end.
All right.
Unless Ben Johnson thinks Tyler Warren is better.
Yeah, he should, but yeah.
That's literally the conversation we're having in this draft.
Yeah.
Right? Darnell Wright does make perfect sense. I think he's better on the right side than on the left side. I would rather see him play on that right side. I would move Armand Membo to the left side and see if you could get the most out of that, because I don't believe, right? I get it. We keep saying, and I do think the Bears like Braxton Jones, but I get it that we keep saying that, like, you know, there's no world where Braxton Jones isn't here next season. Unless Ben Johnson looks at Braxton Jones and goes, this guy sucks. You want to know what we did on the left side all game last year? You want to know how I know? Because I watched the Lions game and I watched him get destroyed on the left side all game last year. We attacked Braxton Jones exclusively. You know what I mean? So it is a very different draft here because there's so many things that could be, oh, this makes sense. This works here. This goes in this direction. But also, if Ben Johnson walks in the room and goes, you know who sucks? Him. We need to upgrade that position. And that could be anybody outside of probably Caleb Williams, DJ Moore, Roma Dunze, right? Like, we know he loves those pieces. Like, nobody is safe here. I don't sit here and look at this draft and say there's no way that we could see any of these moves happening, because it all depends on what Ben Johnson is seeing. It all depends on what Ryan Poles is seeing. And if both of them see the talent and he comes in and he's like, I know that's your guy, but he's not going to work in this offense, Ryan Poles is probably going to move. He's probably going to make some changes there. Yeah. Ben Johnson walks in and goes,
oh, brother, this guy stinks.
It's GG's.
It is. Peace out.
But
that actually makes a lot of sense.
We'll see what ends up happening, man. Let's talk about some of our best and worst case scenarios that could be coming up. But first, you know what it is on the Morning Breeze, man. We gotta let the music play. Hold on. Let's we're gonna hit you a little bit of different music on this one though. Time to wake up. Breeze Nation, what's good? It's your boy Pat the Designer back at it again. Yo, we need you guys to come hang out with us for the Chicago Bears draft. We're gonna be at VIP Bar and Grill in Homewood. It is going to be a vibe, 65-inch TV given away. We're going to be raffling off the TV and free installation included in that. Of course, we're going to raffle off some new Breeze merch that's just about to hit the market. And we're going to find out what dominant player the Chicago Bears are going to bring in. Party starts at 6 until, you know, last pick or party ends. That's how it goes when you hang out with the Breeze crew. Pull up on us, man. Y'all stay safe out there, Chicago. Bear down. One love. Peace. Appreciate you guys for tuning in and watching the show. Today's episode of the podcast is brought to you by Aura. Have you ever done a Google search on your own name. You'd be surprised what pops up. Your full name, email address, home address, health records, your relatives. It's all out there. And that's why I've been using Aura, the sponsor of today's video. Aura shows me which data brokers are selling my information and automatically submits opt-out requests just for me. Cleaning up my information not only helps reduce the amount of spam I get, but it protects me from hackers who could use that information to help them access my social media, bank accounts, and other sensitive information. It's really simple to set up. I don't have to download several apps or go to things like antivirus, VPN, password management, parental controls, identity theft, but you can get all of that in one place with Aura. I get everything at one affordable price as well. You may already have one or two of these tools, but not having Aura is like leaving the front door locked while leaving the back door and windows wide open. For you to be able to take advantage of Aura, we got a special deal for you here today. Stop data brokers from exposing your personal information. Go to my sponsor at https:/aura.com/the Windy City. Again, that is aura.com/the Windy City to get a 14-day free trial and see how much of your information is being sold. Welcome back. What a stark contrast between those two ad reads.
One is extremely hype. The other is like, hey, all right.
Hey, man, before we get back into it, make sure that y'all tap in everything we got going on here at the Breeze Media Network. If you're into the biggest stories across all sports, check out the Breeze Sports. That's the whole crew locking in on national topics from NBA, NFL, and beyond. No filters, just real talk. Also, you can tap in with me holding it down over on the Chicago Bulls Breeze. Everything Bulls all offseason long, whether trade rumors, game breakdowns, or front office moves, I got you covered. And if you're a Bears fan, you have to check out the Chicago Bears Breeze, apparently weekly. Hosted by the super producer Joel Holt. He's breaking down every angle from the draft to game day analysis in theory. No matter what sport you follow, we've got something for you. So hit that subscribe button and ride away with the Breeze Media Network, available on YouTube, Apple, Spotify, and everywhere you get your podcasts. I can't find somebody to do that show Monday through Friday, apparently. Nobody wants it. I only built the show 90% of the way there for you, bastards.
Hey, let's go do a show.
I'm blaming you. No,
Sick of this guy. Sick of this guy. Whatever.
That's all right. You show up Monday through Friday on here. Man. If y'all haven't done so, hit that like button, subscribe to the page. Crimson's like, I'll do it. We got people gung-ho in the chat to do it. Trying to make some money out here. No, appreciate y'all for tuning in to show love, man. If you have not done so, please take the time out to hit that like button, man. Subscribe to the page, leave a 5-star review. Y'all know what to do. Jump back into some football talk. Jordan, JC. Well, I know y'all haven't done so. 176 up in this mug, 33 likes. Let's get up over 100 likes on this video. Well, you look at your worst case scenario coming out of this draft. We walk out of the building up at VIP Bar and Grill after having a what should be a fun night, and we're all wasted because we had to drink away our tears. What is your worst case scenario?
Oh, Lord.
In this draft at 10?
Look, I already see the graphic. Look, if you're talking about we're at 10 and the best that we can do is get Shamar Stewart, absolutely not. That would be epic fail. That would be like, you know what? Every other prospect we talked about went all 9 before we picked.
Yeah.
Another part of the worst case scenario, I think, too, is that if we couldn't even find a trade partner to trade back with, I think if the value of the pick doesn't equal the player, you know, like if we're at 10 and we're saying, okay, well, I guess we have to go with this person because everybody else is gone, and we don't have a partner that we can move back with. We're already on the clock, and it's kind of like, let's just get what we can get. now your evaluation gets you to Shamar Stewart. Yeah, no, I don't know. I'm sorry. That he is I mentioned this before. He is the type of player that you would get in the later part of the draft. He's the project guy. He's sculpted by the gods. He looks like the part. He looks like everybody's dream edge rusher that will just obliterate the offensive line and kill the quarterback, right, to the tune of 20 sacks a season. Here's the thing, though. He hasn't shown it. He hasn't had the numbers in college. What, he's got 3.5 sacks over the course of 3 years.
4.5 sacks on that. I believe he said, don't discount a sack. He got to
let me not take away the sack yet. Yeah. Good Lord. Shamar Stewart at 10. Are you kidding me? Playoffs? No, I don't think so. No, that would definitely be the worst case scenario. And then we can't trade back to get more value back.
Playoffs? You kidding me? Playoffs? I just hope we can win a game.
I just hope we can go a different route than Shamar Stewart. That's what I want. So no, that would absolutely be the worst case scenario.
You want to know what? And I thought about this because I did say Shamar Stewart yesterday on the show with Courtney, and I'm still kind of there. I'm not like out on that. I do agree with you. If you went Shamar Stewart, it would be like, okay, what the F are you guys doing? But I think there is one more thing that probably would irritate me more, because at least with Shamar Stewart, you're trying to address a position of need. And remember, Dennis Allen does not have an ideal weight for his edge rushers, but he likes his edge rushers 280.
No, is that
Shamar
right?
Stewart coming in 6'6", 290 pounds.
Yeah, it's 10 over. He's
not
too big.
An ideal weight, but he kind of fits the bill, right?
Yeah, fits the bill, my man.
He fits the bill.
I got your bill. I got your bill. All right.
Now, look, I do agree with you. I would not be thrilled if we ended up with Shamar Stewart at 10. And let's just be real, it's a possibility. It is what it is. But I think what would irritate me more is if the Bears went DB at 10. I think I would just like, not that I would be like flip the table. Shamar Stewart might make me flip the table upset. I probably would be, actually.
You better
because it's the one thing where it's like, not to say that you're not getting a good player, which would help you, but it's the one spot where I feel like you didn't need a guy here. There's no reason to go get one. If we left this draft with a Will Johnson, right? I'd
be happier.
Listen, he's gonna be good. He's gonna be solid. I think that I don't think that the Johnson to Johnson connection is all of a sudden gonna be, how's your Johnson? I don't think that connection is all of a sudden gonna
Johnson's
be
all over the field. Yeah.
Oh my God, I can't believe that we got that. Like we're literally just all right. We got another DB.
We're fine with that more than the unknown production.
At least with Shamar Stewart, you are addressing first off what Dennis Allen actually wants. It sounds like Dennis Allen cares more about the interior than the exterior, and you're addressing the needs. And here's the thing about the coaching staff, right? If there's a player that you want, you'll do a little bit extra. You'll do a little bit more to try and turn him into the player that you need him to be. I would almost rather see that than see the Bears just go, you know what we got? That we've got 76 of on this team? DBs.
I don't know, Pat. You're stretching it. You're stretching it a little bit with saying that you take Shamar over Will Johnson. I take the productivity over the lack thereof.
I would take anybody in the draft over Shamar Stewart, but why are we going 10?
You
at
take Will.
DB.
Look, you take Will Johnson. You find the closest trade partner for Tariq Stevenson as quickly as possible, and you build around Kyler, Will, and Jalen. Bam.
I mean, yeah, it's cool. But I also could build around Kyler, Jalen, and Tyreek.
Ah. Look,
It just here's all I'm saying. If the upside plays out for Shamar Stewart, at least it's at a position of need.
no, that makes sense. But the upside is it's scary because we
It's
see
terrifying.
the
Listen,
upside.
neither
But
scenario is great.
I told you who the comparison to this guy is. It's a guy that was already on this team. His name is Roy Robertson Harris. We've done this one trick pony show. Like we've done this before. It was a disaster.
Yeah,
I loved Roy Robertson Harris. I was like,
it
man,
was
this
a
guy's
disaster.
dominant. He didn't do anything. Why did we get rid of him if he wasn't a disaster?
He was solid in the run.
Oh, solid in the run. I needed him to be solid in the sack category. He has 19 career sacks over the course of however many seasons. I mean, he averages like 2 sacks a season. Like I don't need that. I understand you look the part. He started out with like, oh no, I can't get with that. If there are any roads that lead to Shamar Stewart, please let me drive into a ditch. Like I'm good. I'm good. Good Lord. I'm sorry. You know what I can compare this to? Our road trip that I just came off of. Going to Texas.
Was it not good?
Oh boy, there were some roads and some back ways I preferred we stayed off of. We should have stayed on the expressway. GPS took us down a turn. I feel like GPS. I don't know if GPS has like I'm not gonna go there. Never mind. GPS was taking us down some roads that I did not like.
Did you?
Yeah, you better believe it.
You hit a couple of
we made sure we had the gas tank filled up. That's all I'm gonna say. Hey, you can compare that to Shamar Stewart is the definition of a sundown player, right now.
Oh God, that's terrible.
No, I'm joking. Oh, jeez. I don't want him.
What Baki say? If was a fifth, we would all be drunk. Pat, we draft Shamar, dude. Y'all gonna see me at the draft party having a Javon Wims moment.
Yes, there you go. Looks the part, but can't catch a wide open touchdown. Right through the hands. God. Right through the hands.
Yeah,
right through those hands. Yep. There you go.
All for a reason. Gee, I'm not gonna lie to you. Like a sundown player is insane. That's
like, I don't want him. I'm not going that direction.
So bad, it brings on races.
I don't want him. Lord have mercy.
All right, well let's finish it off on a good note here. Let's finish it off on a good note here, dog. What's your dream scenario for the Chicago Bears here?
Well, I'll tell you what. If we're talking about the best case scenario, the best case scenario for Ryan Poles and the Chicago Bears. I'm gonna be honest with you. Either all nine scouts and 9 teams before the Bears pick all have some sort of stroke, and Abdul Carter's there at 10. That's technically the dream scenario.
That's your dream scenario.
I gotta wake up. If we're being realistic about what dream scenario could be produced, I would say Ashton Genty obviously still being there at 10. Las Vegas looks a different direction. Yeah. And you get the obvious number one prospect at his position there, who everybody has been talked about linked to this team, who everybody on the team says they love, who you've seen pictures with Caleb. Obviously I love Ashton Genty. I think you do, but you're just acting like you don't. But so for me, yes, I think that's the dream scenario. Or, like I said before, maybe those prospects are gone. You find a way to trade back all the way to, like, say, I saw a recent draft where maybe you trade with like an Indianapolis or another team where you can move all the way back to 14 or maybe even 19. You trade back a couple times. You get some more capital, maybe in the second or third round. You still get a running back that's really good in Omarion Hampton. and you now build up the trenches and the edge rusher, other positions of need.
Yeah, listen, my dream scenario right now, I'm kind of there with you. I don't know if the trade back scenario is my dream scenario, because even in trading back, like, yeah, we get more picks and that'll be more fun in days 2 and day 3. But I would rather get the best player that you can there if there is somebody there. My dream scenario is Jacksonville goes offensive tackle instead of defensive line.
Oh,
Vegas stands pat, takes Ashton Jeanty.
oh boy.
The Jets go offensive line. The Carolina Panthers either trade out of their pick and do something stupid, which checks out. New Orleans goes quarterback. Jackson Dart moves up into it. And Mason Graham finds his way to fall to the sky.
You just want your steak. That's
no,
all
I actually just want Mason Graham. I'd rather have him than the steak. Like, I'm not gonna lie to you. The steak is nice. I forgot about the steak. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Don't you forget about our deal now.
I forgot about the steak.
Yeah,
but
sure
no, I just think, listen, there are not many people that it feels like, hey, this guy is the piece of the future. There are not many people in this draft. Right, even with Ashton Jeanty. Ashton Jeanty would be exciting to me for 5 seasons, but then I got to deal with everybody hating me in 5 seasons, because I'm going to sit there and look and just be like, yeah, don't pay him. Unless he's like Walter Payton incarnate. Like, I'll be like, yeah, don't pay him. Like, go get another running back in the draft, because hopefully by then we've got the offensive line figured out. And you don't have to invest that much money into the running back position. I would rather see a 10-year piece fall to you at 10 than a 4 to 5 year piece fall to you at 10. And to me, I think Mason Graham just embodies that. He's an absolute monster over the middle. Literally just consistently providing pressure in the face of the quarterback. I think that he has more pass rush moves than Kenneth Grant, who a lot of people have looked at and said, well, if you don't get him, you can still get Kenneth Grant. Kenneth Grant, I think, is very stout. I think he's a really good player. I think that he does clog up the lanes a lot. I think he could be your Andrew Billings type of guy. Give me Mason Graham all days, twice on Sunday, maybe once on Saturday. I'll take twice on a Thursday as well. You know what I mean? Just a little. What are we talking about? But I think that for me, as far as dream scenarios, bro, like Abdul Carter to me is a pipe dream, right? There is no scenario where he falls to you. Will Campbell is cool. And I think that he does address that left tackle position for you.
He does address it. I think what we're saying here is there's multiple scenarios where one could dream and one could actually come away with the player that they actually want. I think we're set up in that situation where you could find a guy who falls because there's somebody in the top 9 that makes a decision that maybe nobody else thought they would make. And I saw somebody in the chat mention also too, Shedeur Sanders being a quarterback that maybe the New York Giants still are smoke screening for and maybe want, in the top picks. Like, we don't know, everything kind of says otherwise with that, but you never know. You even mentioned Jackson Dart going to New Orleans Saints. Like, so there's a scenario where somebody will fall. Could it be the Tyler Warrens? Could it be the Ashton Jeantys? Could it be Mason Graham, who's been talked about in the top 5 for a lot of the, the recent mocks that are coming out? So I'm with you. I think there's a number of scenarios where we would be fine with saying, I could live with that. That actually is going to work out. And as you mentioned, the longevity of that player in their career and what you kind of get out of them. Will they make it to their second contract? Those type of things are going to be factored in as well. So I'm obviously cool with the Mason Graham. I'd obviously be cool with the Will Campbell there as well at 10. Yeah. Obviously Ashton Jeanty, if yes, I know Abdul Carter at 10 is a pipe dream. I saw somebody else say it. That would be historic. That would be the dumbest thing in the world if Abdul Carter was there. So obviously that would be, a pipe dream.
Here's I think what would be, and I think you still have to do it, right? That would be okay, but why is he falling? Like there's no murder on his name. He doesn't have any charges that have been attributed to him. What what's making him fall? Now, I think you have to go Abdul Carter if he is falling.
Do you have a random Laramie Tunsil moment where you found him with a bone or something?
You know what's funny is I keep seeing people post that video and it's like, Abdul Carter, what are you doing? No, like also like trying to ruin the draft stock. And I was like, we know this isn't bad anymore, right? Like we know that this literally is just like,
dang,
let me just smoke a little weed. Shout out to him. Like it's a completely. Remember how big a deal that was? Oh my God!
It was like, oh wow,
How dare he do a little bit of the ganja pre-draft? It's like he might be sore. Like,
how dare he relax? You know,
right? Bears Junkie said, "Fingers crossed." Abdul Carter gets a DUI.
That's right. Doing 100 in Chicago.
It's one of those things for me where we're at right now with this Bears team. Like, I just feel like, especially with the comments that Dennis Allen made to me when I was talking to him up at Hallis last week, it just truly feels like that third or that answer, not the third guy, because I think there are a bunch of guys in the middle for the Chicago Bears right now, but that answer in the middle of, hey, so this is Javon Dexter and this is Mason Graham, and they are going to kill you. It's just one that entices me, and to me, it makes up for the fact. Well, it actually doesn't make up for the fact, but it makes you feel better about the fact that Aaron Donald was one pick before. Just let us get that one. Don't blue ball us on this either. Don't let them fall to the Saints, and the Saints are like, hey, we got so many other needs, but also we're gonna take this Graham guy.
We got Mason right here. Yeah.
Where's the scenario where you got to make a trade up for whatever player it is, right? Mason Graham, Ashton Genty, if the Bears actually love him. I don't know if the Bears do love him, but where's the pick that one of them get to where you go, oh, we have no choice. We have to make a trade. Oh, by the way, over 100.
Hey.
Over 200.
Hey.
Over 300. 300.
Good morning.
There we go.
So what scenario would I've kind of stood at this one. We've talked about it before at 6. If Las Vegas is rumored to being okay with moving out of that pick, and you for sure want to get Ashton Genty, I feel like that's the biggest threat to having him not fall to you at 10. So, you want to be assertive and just go up and just get your guy. If you're that convinced, do what you got to do to get him, I could also see a world where you're moving up for your guy, Mason Graham. Again, if you feel like maybe the Saints or the teams right before Carolina doesn't,
the Jets are in there.
has their eyes on, maybe moving in to get him. They like him as a prospect, and you're hearing rumblings that this is, a player that they could be really eyeing in on draft day. Yeah, you move up, above those guys and find a way to get them as well. So I believe those two players are the guys that you move up for. Realistically, we talked about moving up to 2 and moving up to 4 for potential prospect and Abdul. There's just so much that probably would have to go right for us to do that. I don't necessarily see that. It wouldn't bother me, obviously, if that happened, but I think more realistically, you can move up into that 5 to 6 to 8 range, maybe move up a little bit more and go get your defensive tackle or your running back.
Yeah, listen, I'm there for all of it. I think that this is a situation where the Bears are going to be, as Ryan Poles said, in a wild situation in this draft. I think this draft is going to make some twists and turns that you do not expect. To me, honestly,
crazy.
Yeah, that was a little crazy. To me, honestly, I do think that if this goes chalk, right, if it goes as everyone expects,
as advertised,
I would be very surprised.
Really? Yeah.
I would be very surprised if everything just goes, oh, well, actually, they're going to go Cam Ward, and then we're going to get Travis Hunter, and then we're gonna get like if it's just boom, 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 straight down the board,
like what we expect. Yeah.
Very surprised. And I'm gonna be honest with you, right? Like we kind of ignored it because of what we saw in the second half of the season. But are we 100% sure Carolina don't go quarterback?
I think they invested a little bit more time in Bryce. I think they saw if he had not kind of bounced back a little bit, if he didn't bounce back, if he didn't, take that time when he got, kind of put on timeout and then kind of evaluated from the sideline to see, okay, well, this is where I need to improve in. Because that was when, correct me if I'm wrong, Andy Dalton took over.
Andy Dalton got in a car accident.
Yeah. So I mean, Bryce probably has another chance to really kind of revive the early parts of his career. So I don't think they go the route of quarterback. I don't see that happening.
I don't either. But I'm just saying, I don't expect this draft to be normal. To me, that could be a wild card, right? Vegas could be a wild card. If Vegas doesn't go Ashton Genty and they go, maybe they go Will Campbell and they go whoever's still on the board, right? Like, there's a couple of wild cards here in the top 10 where it's like the Bears could stand pat at 10 and be great or possibly have to move up, right? Like if you're talking about Mason Graham or if you're talking about, why does Clayton call you CJ? If you're talking about Mason Graham or you're talking about
I realize that.
I mean, I wouldn't do it, but I'm hearing Ian Cunningham's comments. I do think they love Ashton Genty. If you're talking about you looking at your board and going, that's our guy.
Mm-hmm. Are you convinced?
If they get anywhere near 7, I'm making phone calls.
Mm-hmm. What do we got to do?
Making phone calls.
What do we have to do? Move on up.
I wouldn't do that for the running back, but that's
yes, you would.
I love how people are like, your hate of running backs is weird. I don't hate running backs.
It's getting a little weird.
I don't
saying that. It's getting a little weird.
Running backs, bro.
It's a little weird.
Never hated. My favorite player is beast mode.
Are you sure about that?
Yeah.
Did you hate when you didn't give him the ball, obviously, on the 1 yard line?
100%.
All right.
And you want to know what else? Right. I would have gave him that football, and I wouldn't have paid him either.
Oh, won the Super Bowl, no contract.
It's a lot harder to do that. I'm not gonna lie to you. Hey man, we appreciate y'all for tuning in and showing love. Hit that like button if you have not done so. Subscribe to the page. Also, if you want to stay tapped in with everything that we've got going on, man, join the Discord. The link is in the chat. Join up in the Discord, man. We're going to be using that a lot more, especially with us doing a lot more pre-recorded. Sometimes we just going to turn the mic on in that Discord for people to be able to listen in as we do shows and different things like that. As we do, you'll be able to get the first shows, right? It'll be kind of like a Patreon situation over there. Free. So all you got to do is click that link, man. Join up in the Discord. Draft party is going to be happening
can't wait.
Thursday. Tomorrow. Very excited about that. Also, you can keep up with the draft in there as well. We'll probably have a ton of posts going into that. Thursday, April 24th, 6 p.m. until final pick or we leave. VIP Bar and Grill. Make sure to tap in with us in Homewood. TV giveaway, 65-inch TV giveaway, and merch will be raffled off. Hey man,
Alex
JC. It's your boy Pat the Designer back at it again. Y'all stay safe out there, Chicago. Bed down. One love. Peace.
Don't forget, free install by me.
There is also free install involved. It will not be by Jordan JC.
I'm getting my hands on that TV. Whoever wins
that television. All right?
Watch your back, whoever wins.
Oh boy.